Good morning, it's Monday, the something of August. On the agenda today is some filming, which I've already done for this week's video that comes out on Thursday. I've also got some designing to do. A lovely bride that whose wedding was completely pooped by the whole pandemonium situation is actually going to get married, which is fabulous news. Did all the pattern cutting, bought her fabric, did fittings, blah blah blah. So we've got to do a little bit of adapting of her dress, but luckily can still use the pattern that was done. It just needs a bit of tweaking. So I said that I'd send over some ideas. So we'll have a little look at that. I've got a lot of sewing to do for a designer that I'm working with, and I'm also working on my new patterns. So I've got a knitting pattern, a dress pattern and an accessory pattern. I'm not going to be doing all of that today, but over this coming week I will. And I also have a party with my best friends, so exciting, at the end of the week on Saturday, and I need to make a top to go with the skirt, so I'm going to be doing that as well at some point. But the agenda today, designing and lots of sewing. And I also have to pop into town to go to Jacobs because my pedal for Bertha, my Bernina Activa 140, gave up the ghost, and Hal at Jacobs very kindly said he'd have a little look at the pedal. We worked out what the problem is, but I'm going to pop in, and because I always talk about it, I'm going to show you a little bit of that too. So we shall see, and there are cups of tea and cats. So I hope you enjoy. So I've sent off the stuff to the lovely bride, and I will wait to hear back from her. And I'm about to pop into town to Jacobs to see if Hal, who is one of the Jacobs family, have been able to mend my pedal for my Bernina Bertha that I always use in these videos. So fingers crossed he's managed to do something. If not, I have got a bit of a hefty amount of money to find to replace it because it's not cheap. It's a Missy there, and then there's a Loki there, and Hal has, it's a bit messy, Hal has managed to solve my pedal problem. Hopefully it will all go smoothly. So I've got an absolute ton of sewing to do now, and yeah, I better crack on. Good morning, it's Tuesday the 10th of August. I'm not very good with dates and days, etc. So yesterday evening I just carried on sewing the commission into the evening, and then did some editing and admin and, you know, that sort of, yeah, less interesting things. And I heard back from the bride about her new updated concept for her wedding, and she was really pleased with it, so we've booked in an appointment and we can get going with that, which is really lovely because you know, it's horrible to think of all these people who've had all their plans completely, you know, blown out of the water. So today I have to continue sewing that commission for the designers. I've got quite a few bits. I'm going to cut out another item so that I've got you know, everything in process, and because everything's sewn in black and overlocked in black, it's kind of better to get almost like a production line going, even though all the items are slightly different. And I also have my party outfit to work on, so I'm going to cut that out and sew that at the same time. And I think that's probably going to be it for today. So these are some outfit ideas for the party. This one is my Deighton skirt, and then I was going to make a Greta blouse with short sleeve, and I've got this just black sort of, it's not a lawn, but it's not really a poplin, it might be some kind, it's just slightly thicker than a lawn. I'm calling it a blush pink and black story because it's like my favourite combination, and I've got these blush pink shoes, and then I have this 1930s, can't really see so well in the light, there we go, this 1930s jacket that my lovely friend Estelle gave me, one of my besties, and I will be wearing that to go with it. And then the other alternative is one of my black linen sun tops, and then I was going to make a pair of black linen trousers, or the Gertie pattern, I did a video about that as well, in a polka dot. But I'm actually thinking that this will be the one, because I know that I can wear them after. And then I got these fake faux flowers from IKEA quite a long time ago, and I was thinking about making some sort of hair combs, some kind of headdress type thing with them that I could wear. So yeah, so I'm thinking about that. And I do need a belt. I think I'm going to do a wardrobe audit as I go into autumn and make some kind of plan about items that I need, because I don't have belts really. I've just got a couple of belts. I need to get some new belts in my wardrobe, or new old belts, or whatever. There's not really anywhere around here particularly to get belts. Anyway, so I'm going to cut that out and cut out another dress for Pearl, the designer that I'm working with, and then I will be setting up to sew. Good morning, it's Wednesday, it's about 10 o'clock-ish, and I am just uploading this week's video onto YouTube for you lovely people. I did the voiceover very early this morning because it's the only time that it's reasonably quiet, although as you well know through all my content, there are always seagulls having a bit of argy-bargy outside, and there really is nothing I can do about it. And I've become so accustomed to the sound of them that I don't really notice it unless they're really going absolutely banzai. But it happens all year round. So today, YouTubey stuff, content creation stuff. I thought I would show you how I make some covered buttons at some point today. I've got something quite exciting arriving in the post involving a commission for a different person, so I will show you that. And then I've literally got loads and loads of sewing to do for that same commission for Pearl as well. So there's like dozens of buttons. When I say dozens, that's an understatement, to sew onto things. So we shall see how the day progresses. So you're getting a very, very sneak peek, an exclusive here. This is my first sample for a PDF sewing pattern that I'm working on with Charlotte Rose Illustrations at the moment. And I've got this rouleau front opening frilly collar, and I'm going to make some cover buttons to finish this off. Here's the leftover bits. I only need, how many buttons? 1, 2, 3, 5 buttons. So I've got a, you know, a self cover button. These ones are 11mm. So I'm going to use that. I have this bowl which I put all my gubbins in. By gubbins I mean, you know, all the loose threads, the rubbish. It's like my little sewing bin on the table, candle going. My tray, so as I take these out I put everything in the tray because these always seem to be running off. Little scissors, needle and thread. And I just got these new dressmaker pencils by Hemline Gold. All the range is lovely and they stock it in Jacob's haberdashery, and I bought these and so far so good. And this isn't at all sewing related, but I'm so in love with my orchid, one of my orchids. I bought this as a, you know, basically what looked like something dead, and you know, it grew back and there was just one stem with some flowers. But this is, and I forgot actually to put the stake back in and stake it, and it has gone absolutely bonkers. Like, how many buds are there? Are so many, and it's just been flowering for, you know, for days and days and days. It's just stunning. So what I do is I draw around the given template and I make it a little bit bigger, just a few millimeters bigger, and then draw those onto the fabric, wrong side of the fabric. And then I do a gathering stitch just inside the outline, and I do this before I've cut it out. And then once I've done this bit, I'm then going to cut out around that outline. So I've put the button bit in, and then it's a case of just doing all the gathering it up. And you can see why I make it, hopefully you can see why I make it a little bit bigger, because if you just did it at the size they say, it would stop about here. So that's nicely gathered, and then I just sort of stitch around these. See if it will even focus. There, stitch around and around and around and around, and then I put the little back on. And here's the button. Snip that off, plonk it in the back tray before I lose it. And I know there are kits to make these, but I find them far too faffy fiddly. This way works for me. So buttons are all sewn on, that's done. And I've put the elastic in the sleeve. So I shall give this a wear tomorrow and see how I feel about it. And with any luck, it will be available as a PDF pattern at some point before December. Fingers crossed. Anyway, I was expecting a package, and that hasn't got here. Hopefully tomorrow. So I'm going to call it a day and finish. It's just after 5. And I think I'm just going to edit some stuff and enjoy the late evening sunshine while I can. See you tomorrow, my lovelies. Good morning. It's Friday the 13th, one of my favourite days. I missed yesterday just because I was sewing this commission for this designer, and there's so little of it that I can show you, and there's so much of the work to do that I just had to really crack on. But today the parcel has arrived, and I want to show you this pleated fabric that's come back to me, because I thought that might be quite interesting. I'm just about to make a cup of tea and show you some stuff. I did manage last night evening to just finish off my Greta blouse for my, you may remember my party outfit here. So I yeah, just threaded through elastic, needs a little press. And what I did on this is a bit of a hack. The Greta blouse and dress has a keyhole here, and I basically ignored that. Just put bias binding all the way round and threaded elastic through, and I shortened the sleeves, obviously. These things, they never look that exciting, do they, on the stand? These sort of wardrobe heroes, core pieces for the wardrobe, but I can imagine that I'm going to be wearing this a lot, and it's got me thinking about my autumn wardrobe and what I'm going to be making for that, and how I'm going to go about planning my makes for autumn winter, and yeah, just how I'm going to approach it. Do I do ad hoc kamikaze? Oh, I like that, I like that, I like that, kid in a sweet shop. Or do I do a planned capsule wardrobe and then add in interesting bits around it? I'm wanting to do the latter, but knowing myself, I may do the former. Let me know your thoughts. So this is the parcel that has arrived, and this is the fabric inside. It's very exciting. Look at that, it's like a little work of art. And there's a low-key watching what's going on. So yeah, I'm gonna get this out and we shall see. So here's the dress and the little jacket that's going to be in a sort of boucle tweed, very Chanel. I've got to pattern cut that today and do a toile for a fitting after the weekend. So this is what the pleated panels are for. This is going to be sort of built up, draped on the stand. So I've got to do the lining, the sort of under bit for this to actually go onto, and then there's the skirt, which is a sunray pleat. So it's a full circle skirt that's been pleated. It's a little bit pointy here, so maybe it'll drop a bit, we'll see. But this is perfect. This is an accordion pleat. And these are this is 150 centimetre wide silk and a metre, both of them, and that's how much it goes down into. It's a bit like magic. I'll link the company, Cement Pleating, in the comments bar, the description bar. They did a lot of pleating for Game of Thrones and for all sorts of musicians, all sorts of interesting things, so you might want to have a little look at them. Saturday, the 14th of August, and I have been working on the pleated dress commission all morning. So I've draped this all on the stand and then hand sewed it. It's a bit difficult to see this navy. So I've got to hand sew this side. This side is all done. I'm going to have to do lots of little anchoring stitches in this as well, especially on the back, because this is it needs to be a bit more secured. But it's coming on, and yeah, I've got to finish this, but I think I'm going to stop because I want to make my headband hair comb for my party tonight. My lovely friend Zoe was having a studio sale of her vintage and antique clothing collection. She lives just up the road, so I popped along and thought you would like to see some of her beautiful things. These original cut-out leather platforms from Bieber literally took my breath away. They are on my dream list of shoes. I didn't look at the price or the size, just in case. So I'm going to sign off here. I hope you've enjoyed this week with me in my little cottage by the sea and all the sewing and having a little wander around. I am party ready with my headdress, and I'm going to go and hang out with my friends. I hope you are keeping safe and well wherever you are in the world, and remember, we can make the world a better place one stitch at a time. Subscribe if you've enjoyed the video, and follow along with all my sewing adventures here on the coast of England. Take care, my lovelies. Bye.